A new book explores the world of dog shows. Tommy Tomlinson went on a quest to find out if those dogs are really happy. He spent 3 years on the road going behind the scenes at more than 100 dog competitions across the country, including Westminster.
And he shares what he learned in Dogland, passion, glory, and lots of slobber at the Westminster Dog Show. And Tommy joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, we appreciate you joining us here. So I was amazed at some of these facts about dog shows we didn't know. But walk us through quickly. What separates a show dog from a house dog?
Well, they get separated from the time they're about 6 or 8 weeks old. The breeders look at them and pick the dogs that they think will be the closest to what's called a breed standard. It's sort of a written definition of what the perfect dog of that breed should be like. And from the moment they're separated out into what they call show quality, they're trained differently, they're fed differently, and of course they travel and do all the things that show dogs do. It's a matter of not just physical appearance, the way they look and the particular height or weight or fur color and all that sort of thing, but there's also some sort of charisma or kind of intangible things involved as well.
Well, we were talking about Best in Show, which, so brilliantly spoofed this whole world. How much of behind the scenes, behind the curtain, when dogs are getting ready, is like some of the funny things we see? Is it tense back there? Are the dogs happy? Are they not happy?
It can be kind of tense. I would say Best in Show did a pretty good job of, exaggerated for comic effect, of course, but they did a pretty good job of saying what it was like there. And in fact, they hired real dog handlers, dog judges, people like that, to make sure that it looked pretty accurate. Behind the scenes, excuse me, behind the scenes, it's much more hectic than it looks like in the ring. Everything's very smooth in the ring. It's sort of like if you've been backstage at a Broadway play or something. Behind the scenes, it's chaos. And it's sort of like that at the dog show as well.
But do the dogs seem happy, or is it hard to tell? It's all they know.
It's all they know. And I think dogs don't have the same self-awareness that we do. They don't look across the street and think, oh, that dog's got a better life than me.
It's true.
But I think they also have figured out more than any other creature on earth how to make themselves happy and how to make people happy. And that's why we've had this bond with dogs that has lasted probably 30,000 years.
Is there drama behind the scenes among people in this community, fights and rivalries, like the Real Housewives drama, where backstabbing and all that kind of stuff?
I don't think there's any Pier 6 brawls or anything behind the scenes there. There's certainly rivalries, and certainly everybody wants their dog to win, and they're disappointed when they don't win, and sometimes there can be a little bitterness there. I think it's a more genteel sort of rivalry where they might mutter something under their breath behind the scenes, but there's no I didn't witness any huge dramatic moments back there.
And why did the handlers all wear those suits that look so unflattering and I don't get it.
People talk about this all the time. But first of all, they have to wear flats because they're basically jogging around the ring. So women and men too can't wear any kind of heel on their shoes. It's just not practical. And secondly, there's a theory in the dog show world that the plainer you dress, the more the judges will pay attention to the dog. Now, some people dress really flashy and fancy, and they don't really go for that theory. But in general, the kind of the prevailing theory is don't make a point of having people look at you because you want them to look at the dog.
You write about how you were surprised at how inbred some of these competitors are.
Sure. Well, they call it line breeding or pure breeding in this world, but the fact is that it's inbreeding. These dogs have been bred with cousins or closer for hundreds and hundreds of generations now. And that gives an air of predictability, like what a litter is going to look like, which is really important to breeders and to people in the show world. It also exacerbates a lot of the sort of genetic difficulties and health problems that a lot of those dogs have because they never get a chance to be bred out.
Well, the book is Dogland: Passion, Glory, and Lots of Slobber at the Westminster Dog Show. For more, you can check out TommyTomlinson.com. Follow him on social media as well. Thanks for being with us.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.